Hey guys, well, the world is not ended yet, but just in case you still want to do your hair, make it pretty simple. I usually wear my hair pretty wavy and it has some natural wave, so I didn't really ever wear my hair curly until I was like 25. I had no idea like what to do with wavy hair because my mom didn't really have wavy hair, and I just have kind of experimented with products and tools since I went to cosmetology school. So what I'm gonna do is diffuse my hair and then pretty much just blow my bangs out like with my fingers. It's nice because I feel like it can be messy, and it doesn't really matter. So, cause we're inside. So, I just used this Burt's Bees hair treatment, avocado hair treatment. I've had it forever, but it was interesting. It's super thick. It doesn't seem like it in your hand, but once it gets in your hair, you really gotta work it in. So anyway, I tried that in the shower. I didn't wash my hair today because I had just washed it like yesterday. And I thought, well, let me put this treatment on because it's still fairly clean. And then I just put a little shampoo at my roots and rinsed it all out. So it looks disgusting. It's an avocado, all natural hair treatment with oil, I assume, and it looks like a baby threw up in your hand or something. I don't know. I guess baby's throw up isn't green. But don't worry, it rinses out. And I was just spraying water. This is my little handy dandy sprayer, because when you leave it in the towel a little too long, can't really work with it as well. So just gotta make sure you have the right amount of moisture in it. You want to still feel like it's able to be reformed. If it's getting too stiff, like especially the bangs will dry too fast, then they won't look great when we blow them out. So just make sure it's still somewhat wet. You can see when your hair looks a little darker than it should normally. Whoop. All right, so then I've got a wide tooth comb, wet brush, ta-da, and that's pretty much all you want to do. I actually took it out of the towel and then leaned over upside down and brushed it forward. Don't know if you could hear that, but I leaned forward and brushed it all to the front and then put the towel back on so that it would dry in a more vertical position, and then you'll get more volume that way. If you don't need or want as much volume, then you don't have to do that. But it's an extra step that kind of helps. So you can see they're starting to form here a little bit, just a little. You want to scrunch. I like to take both my hands so I can get it all in there and then squeeze it pretty tight. And you can keep doing that. But first, let's put some product on it. This is a Verb Styling Cream. We used to use this at my job with Arrow Barbering Company, Woo, where I got my start, we'll say. And then I'm kind of putting it up near the root and then brushing it through. Let's use a little more on the other side. I can use a good bit of this. It looks thick, but even for my hair that's not super thick, it doesn't weigh it down once it's dry. So I've got it in here. I'm gonna start and get it up near the root, like at the base. All right, and then I'll flip over to get the crown. Get a good bit up under here. If you have bangs, everyone's got a little bit that wants to fight. It's feeling pretty good, but you can always use the comb, kind of piece them out. I want them to be a little messy. So it's okay if they're still messy at this point. If you want them to be smoother, use the comb. This is a smaller, but still fairly large. You can smooth them out, and that'll give you a smoother look. So here, I've got a diffuser. This is just a universal diffuser. Put it on any hairdryer. So it's universal. And then I like to put mine on like a medium heat. Medium heat, medium or low setting. If your hair is thicker, you can definitely turn it on a faster speed setting. Or if you're in a hurry. I like to turn it lower as I'm pulling it away, and then once it's close, turn it up. If it starts to smell like it's burning, probably is. Turn your heat down. Okay, once I've done the bottom a little bit, I'm going to come back with a good bit more product, the styling cream, and work it in the back, and we'll scrunch it up. I used to get really worried that if I raked product through, it would just destroy the shape of the curl, but since we're going for kind of a looser look, since it's a shag cut, it shouldn't matter as much. If you want those really nice formed curls, then definitely put the product in as soon as you wring your hair out. Because you'll get a much better finish. Okay, now we're gonna do the top. So I'll have to kind of flip upside down to do this. And I'm just gently cradling it, just so I know where I am. Also, by holding it with my other hand up as I'm moving sections, it's helping hold the curl while it sets. So every once in a while you can just stop and like evaluate this. It's starting to get there, and the bottom's definitely drier than the top. So what I'm gonna do though is dry these bangs first, because if they get any more dry, they're not going to be fixable. So I've got it on low speed, high heat. Making sure the section is good. You don't want something that's supposed to be on the other side to dry in place. And I'm just kind of lightly moving it back and forth. Sort of a windblown look in the front. I don't want it to be too neat since the sides are going to be more curly. If you have a shag, but you have like longer, more like face framing bangs, then you can always just take them and kind of twist them around and diffuse them just like the rest of the hair. But you still kind of need to shape them a bit with the comb. So now that I've dried them a little bit, they shouldn't mess up as much when I flip over. I'm gonna move this down. I turned it to a medium heat so it doesn't fry the parts that are already dry-ish. Once it starts getting closer to feeling dry, you may need to mist the ends a bit. Ooh, shake it out. Go to your side. Because this is going to start to get all fuzzy and dried out. So I'm just going to mist those again a tiny bit so they don't get blown out too much. And keeping this like balance while it's drying will definitely help your end result. And I'm still kind of shaping it as I spritz it just a little bit. Use low speed, medium heat. You may have to stretch before you do this. Once we start feeling good about the top, then we can go back to the bottom where we spritzed it again. Alright, I'm going to start going back to the bottom. I think it's good. All right, I'm gonna leave it just slightly damp at the bottom. All right, then you can kind of just loosely palm it, use your fingers to move it around like the claw. Comb again. Sometimes the fingers mess it up. I always have more volume on the one side than the other. It'll kind of settle in a little bit, but this is what we've got in the back. Fun. Lots of movement. So that's it. You can always like put a little hairspray on at this point. It's still just slightly damp. It won't mess it up or anything. And then another thing I like to use is this Sea Texture Spray by Verb. It's like a dry shampoo, but I feel like a little more intense even. And I just pick up the back layer, spritz it under there, Gives me just a little more volume on the top. I'm gonna use my pinky on this side. Pick it up. Try not to disturb it too much. And then I'm just using my nails to kind of up. No, keep it fun, messy. Cute.